Alright guys, Paul back here again, and it's been a long time since I've done an in-depth review like this to camera. We've been doing a lot of work, as you may have followed on my Instagram and such, moving into a new workshop. So by the time you're actually watching this video, this will probably all be gone. It will be in a different location. I think this is probably one of the last videos I'm filming in here, so bit of a shame, but I figured I should do a couple more reviews in here before we actually move out. So that being said, we're going to be reviewing the brand new 2022 WWE Shop Blue Big Eagle Attitude Heavyweight Replica belt. So in this bag is a brand new belt straight from WWE Euro Shop. It's still fully packed up and sealed. And then towards the end of the video, we'll look over this version, which is a fully upgraded version of this belt. It has real cubic zirconia stones replacing the plastic stones, and it has a real leather strap finished in blue with the brown croc backing. So that's pretty much as close as you can get these standard replicas to the real thing that was used on TV. So we'll compare them later on in the video, but to start, we will unpack this and we will fully review this belt. Okay, so the belt comes in a standard belt bag. It's kind of a nice velvet feeling belt bag, and on the front we have the new generation WW logo, no F here, and at the bottom it reads Blue Big Eagle Replica. Before we get too far into it, I did mention at the start we are currently moving into a new workshop, so in celebration of that, I guess, or more so, I don't want to move as many belts, we're having a big sale on the website currently, so if you're interested in a 10% discount, use this code below for 10% off until the end of the year. Thank you. Okay, so the belt bag, like I said, is this standard kind of nice velvet. The blue colour looks really nice, as you can see there, as we unpack it. Okay, so that's how the belt comes packaged up from WWE Shop and Euro Shop. So it comes really nicely packaged. It shouldn't get damaged in this condition. There we go. Absolutely beautiful belt. So when a belt comes brand new from WWE Shop or Euro Shop, you'll notice it does have foam underneath the sides of the center plate. That's simply because the spikes on the side of this belt do dig into the leather strap, as you can see there. You can see the corresponding marks on the simulated leather strap. So it does protect the strap slightly. So the strap does have a 2x10 snap set on the male left-hand side, and it has a 2x7 snap set on the female side here, as you can see there. The plates themselves, really thick plates, 5mm thick plates, good details, casted details as we can expect with modern replicas. So you can see thickness of the plates, and also the curve is ridiculous on this belt, so really impressed with the curve. I like that a lot. One thing I will say is the kind of texturing, it's really minimal. It's not that good. Like, these textured areas, they're intended to look very similar to what is on like the Undisputed around the stone holders, things like that, or even the Brahma Bull down there. It has a textured border that's a little deeper than this. It still looks good, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite as deep as some of the other texturing they've done on belts. So it looks a little bit unfinished, but I'm just nitpicking here. So other than the textured area here being a little shallower than my liking, the detail on the plates is actually really significant. The plates are really thick. I think they're 5mm thick, and the etching is about 1mm, maybe a little bit less, but it's still detailed enough that you see all the design details and you see everything you need to. Look at the eagle's wings, look really nice there. Really good. The paint on this belt is actually really good as well. You might remember older, not so much older, but about 2014-ish to about 2017, things like the UK belt, the Red Universals, belts that had loads of paint. A lot of the paint would start chipping off. The UK belt was one of the most prominent because its whole center plate was covered in paint, so when paint started coming off, the rest would pretty much follow, and it would almost snowball a little bit. With the most recent kind of 2019-ish onwards replicas, I think they've changed the paint they used. They previously used resin paint, so it was pretty much an epoxy that sat in. Now I think they're actually using metal paint, so regardless of what they're using, the paint finish is actually really good. You'll see all the details in the globe there. Paint is nice flat paint. There's no bubbling, there's no spillage of the paint. I've got to be honest, this is really a good looking belt. You see the letters in the crest there. So I should point out again, that's the McMahon family crest. It's also on the Undisputed belts. It's on both sides of the Undisputed belt. And of course this does say World Heavyweight Champion WWE 1998. So on the original real belt this did say JMAR 1998. Who was the original maker, I should say. Of course, one of the complaints people will have on this belt that cannot be changed is the logo. So it is a WWE logo rather than the WWF. And that does change the kind of design of the plates. Obviously, this plate had the F part sticking out. So it does have a different shape to some of the plates. Some of the designs obviously are off-center. In this case, they're now centered. But it is a beautiful looking belt. A really, really well-made belt. The simulated leather strap it's probably one of the less flexible modern straps, but the reason being for that is that it does have the brown crocodile backing. Plastic vinyl backing such as snake print or crocodile or alligator print, they're a lot stiffer than real leather, so when they're glued onto a real leather strap, or in this case a simulated leather strap, they do stiffen up a bit. So you will find that belts with simulated snake or simulated croc will not be quite as flexible, but the difference isn't that massive, to be honest. The design on the strap is actually really nice. They've gone with the classic kind of design, so there's no tooling here. The classic design, while it didn't have any like floral tooling in the snap box, what it did have was this area was stamped down, which you'll see on my fully upgraded version shortly. And you've got, of course, that alligator crocodile print backing, and all the screws on the back of this belt are covered up, as you can see there. You can see through the backing there, the indentation of the screws. So it's a really nice kind of complete belt. I would always personally recommend re-leathering these belts. And probably lastly is the simulated stones are standard plastic stones. So they're nothing special. I mean, we're all familiar with the difference that restoning makes. You'll notice that the textured area in the top of the eagle's wings there, nice little touch. Okay, we're going to compare the two belts now. So, like I said at the start of the video, this belt here is a real leather version. So what we've done, it's the exact same replica. All we did was we took the plates on this one off of the simulated leather strap and we removed the plastic stones. After that, we replaced the plastic stones with real cubic zirconia and we put a real leather strap, handmade by myself, onto this belt, made to follow the style that was used on TV. The simulated leather straps always come out a little bit darker than they're intended to. For example, the NXT North American belt, that comes on a very dark brownish strap, when in reality it should be a kind of rich burgundy. So this is a more rich blue, as you'll see, like I mentioned. So this area, the tooling design was kind of left out because the actual tooling that was on the belt was this stamped down design. So it looks fairly empty, but this entire area is textured, as you'll hopefully see between the differences kind of here. You can kind of see that kind of textured pattern which catches the light really nicely. And then it's my signature on the end to certify its authenticity. So this has been finished in a 2x8 strap and a 2x6 strap on this side. And you'll see that textured design again here. Really, really nicely catching the light. And we've got the camouflage tooling going all the way around the strap, top and bottom. And we flip the belt over and you see it's nicely finished in a brown crocodile backing here. Finishes the belt really nicely, very similar to the brown croc on this belt. As you'll see here, these are the plastic simulated stones, and here we have the real cubic zirconia. So okay then, so I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover about these belts. It's kind of just been a quick overview. So again, standard replica, fully upgraded replica. Personally, I think if you fully upgrade this thing, it's an absolutely outstanding replica. I wouldn't probably put it in my top 5 replicas at the moment because there's so many good ones, like the Brahma Bull, the Winged Eagle, the Undisputed V2, the current US. All of those are probably better than this thing, if I'm 100% honest. But that's not to say this isn't the best version of a Big Eagle that has been produced as of now by WWE. So yeah, it's much better than the scratch logo version. As I said earlier on in the video, the scratch logo version of this replica is in my opinion, one of the worst WWE have ever made since they changed to doing thick casted plates. It's really bad. Hence why they've re-released it repeatedly on like Mick Foley's signature series belt, Triple H's signature series belt. They're just trying to get rid of those plates. But that being said, let me know what you thought of this belt. Do you own this belt? And give me your thoughts on the belt. I'm curious to hear what other people think, because as I said, I really like it, but there are certainly some flaws with it. It's not the best belt, and people will often put it down because of the lack of accurate logo. Personally, as I've mentioned in the past, that doesn't bother me at all, but I can understand why it would. TV accuracy is a big deal to some people, so it's a personal preference thing, and I have no issue with that. But yeah, overall, just let me know what you think of them. And again, if you've missed the start, 10% discount code at the website, pmbelts.com, using whatever's down here, I guess, somewhere. I don't know. That being said, thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe and like the video if you did enjoy it. As I mentioned earlier, we are moving into the new workshop. Once this video is up, we're probably already there. So hopefully in the near future, we'll have videos there once we're all set up and ready to go. But that being said, thank you very much for all the support. I do appreciate it, and keep watching. We'll be back soon. Cheers.
Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP. And if you want to get one of the greatest belts made for you, go to Paulmartinbelts. That's right, sucker.